In 1947, a Stardust aircraft vanished over the Andes, leaving no wreckage for 50 years. The last Morse code transmission was a single, cryptic word, STENDEC. It wasn't a standard signal. It was a rhythmic mechanical pulse that vibrated through the very bones of the radio tower. The pilot, Captain Cook, watched as the mountain peaks began to shimmer like frozen waves of mercury. The air inside the cockpit didn't feel like oxygen anymore. It felt like a thick, conductive liquid. The stars above weren't distant suns, but glowing points on a giant loom. He realized the mountain wasn't made of rock. It was a massive, vertical architecture of shadow and silver wire. The aircraft wasn't flying over the Andes. It was being threaded through them. STENDEC, he signaled again, a desperate plea to the weaver to halt the final stitch. The co-pilot's eyes turned into rotating brass cocks. He didn't speak. He just pointed at the altimeter. The needle was no longer measuring height. It was measuring the density of the pilot's soul. They were being weighed against the requirements of a much larger, darker design. Suddenly, the plane was pierced by a beam of white light. It wasn't a searchlight. It was the needle of the Cordillera. The aircraft was pulled into the mountainside, not in a crash, but in a seamless integration. The metal and the mountain became one unified, silent fabric. For 5 decades, the Stardust was part of the pattern, hidden within the glacial ice. The passengers weren't dead. They were suspended in a state of eternal embroidery, their memories used to fuel the vibration of the peaks. They were the secret pulse of the high Andes range. In 1998, the glacier receded, revealing a single engine and a fragment of a wing. But the investigators found something impossible. The metal hadn't aged, and it was wrapped in a fine, silver thread that hummed when touched. The Stardust had finally been unspooled by time. A local guide found a leather flight bag near the site. Inside was a logbook with pages made of thin, hammered silver. The last entry wasn't written in English. It was a geometric map of the sky, showing a path to a city made entirely of clouds and rhythmic, ticking clocks. The STENDEC signal remains a mystery to aviation experts, but the truth is simpler. It was the name of the weaver's machine. The Stardust didn't crash because of a pilot error. It was harvested to repair a snag in the atmosphere that only the mountain could see clearly. Today, pilots flying over the Andes report a strange clicking on their headsets near the crash site. It's the sound of a loom that never stops turning. The mountains are patient, and the ice is just a storage unit for the threads the weaver hasn't decided to use yet. The Andes hold many secrets, but the Stardust is the most radiant. It is a reminder that the world we see is just the front side of a tapestry. On the back, there are knots, loose